Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DIY Dreaming, and on this quick video we are going to finish up our Dollar Tree braided nautical rope cross that we worked on earlier. We're going to finish it off with a flat pulled string burlap flower to go right here. So earlier I recorded this video making this, and I showed you how super easy it was. A few years ago, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, I made these crosses and just couldn't put my fingers on that video to replay it when several people had asked. So I said, what the heck, let's just make a whole brand new one, and we're going to finish it off with something for right here. If you would like to see that video, just let me know and I will be glad to grab you a link. All right, so I'm going to be using some of this burlap ribbon. It's 5.5 to 6 inches wide. You can find it lots of different places, but I usually get mine at Walmart in the craft section by the all the faux florals. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is cut a length of it. Just for how big you want your flower. Then you're going to start pulling the strings out. That is why these are called pulled string burlap flowers. And before I came live, I cut my length, which let's say this is, it's about 16 to 17 inches long. There's no magic number of how big it needs to be. And then I used some little plier things, jewelry pliers, to pull the strings one at a time out of the burlap ribbon. And don't throw those away because you can craft with them. So I always hang on to them and just tie a loose loop. And then I know that I can make something, a tassel or something in the future. Okay, so I have my little piece of burlap ribbon, and I'm going to basically fold it over on itself and glue the edges together. Tell me in the comments if you are new to DIY Dreaming. I make a lot of flowers here. That's one of my all-time favorite things to do, and I like making all different kinds, but these are super easy, really beautiful, and anyways, I like to make these. Okay, so I'm making basically a tube. I'm using a low heat hot gluing device. A low temperature, because I'll show you my fingers in just a minute. And I know I sound like a broken record, always telling people to be careful, but I have had over my life of being a crafter, I have had so many hot glue burns, and I know that that is absolutely super painful and absolutely no fun. So I use this. It's a SureBonder Cool Shot low temperature hot gluing device, and I feel like it's actually probably even a little cooler than a regular low temperature hot gluing device. Okay, so here's my tube folded over on itself. I pulled out all but about 3 rows on the edges, and now I'm going to cut a circle out of another piece of burlap, and this is what we're going to glue this tube to. So let me just see, how big do I want it to be? I really don't want it to be humongous, like this. This is one that I made not too long ago. This obviously would be way too big. Well, you might like it, I don't know. I think it's a little bit too big. So I'm gonna just round my corners here. We'll trim it up when it's all done. That's sort of a circle. And what you're going to do is you're going to just start gluing this part down in the shape of a circle. And you kind of have to pull and twist it. And if you want a smaller flower, then you want to twist it around in a smaller circle. So once I get one loop around, I'm going to just keep gluing and twisting and laying it down kind of on top of itself. And I will trim up the edges of this in just a few minutes. Looks really messy right now. I probably have plenty or too much of this tube. So let me see. Let me go just a little bit further and then we'll finish it. And I'll hold this up so you can see. Okay. All right, looks like a big mess. Just kind of straightening my little loops out a little bit. This is what that looks like. Now I'm going to cut the excess off the back. Okay, and people ask me all the time about this burlap ribbon. It comes in a lot of different colors. There's like a pretty dusty blue. There's the brown, the natural, that looks like this. Cream, orange, olive, brown, yellow, red, lots of different colors. So you can make these pulled string burlap flowers in a lot of different colors to go for a lot of different kinds of projects. I love the cream, that's my favorite. Okay, so here's my flower so far, and it does look really messy. But it won't once we put something in the center. Now, I could do a button, a piece of bling, another kind of a small flower like this or this. That's pretty. But I think I'm going to keep it really simple so that the cross is what is the focus. And I pulled out a button. This is a vintage mother of pearl button that I'm just going to put in the center. Push it down. I'll hang on to this because I might be able to use it for something else in the future. Here's my little flower. And I am just going to glue it on here. Center part here to lay a little bit flatter. Just pushing this down to get it as flat as possible. Put this right here in the center. And there we go. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see the first video from earlier today where I showed how to make this. This is basically torn strips of canvas duck that are wrapped and glued around a metal wreath form in the shape of a cross from Dollar Tree. And then this is pieces of nautical rope, 3 of them, from Dollar Tree that I braided and glued on them and kind of tucked them into the ends. Then I added another piece of the canvas duck over the back to make that look neat. We did this little flower, and what do you guys think? So this is one I made 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. I have to look and see. Here's another one. And this, you can probably notice that this does look a little bit different. That is because I used a white canvas duck fabric, and this is creamy oatmeal-y color. So tell me what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to sprinkle, do a this or a this.